Okay, it's 2 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone who is attending. My name is Sophie Wise, and I'm the Operations and Communications Manager here at the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. We are super excited today to introduce to you Rihanna and Kimberly from MHP/Team SI. The Women's Foundation of Arkansas is proud to partner with MHP/Team SI, one of Arkansas's largest full service marketing agencies, to host this webinar series for women owned businesses in Arkansas. They are offering up free services to women owned businesses across the state. And so we are super excited that you guys have chosen to take advantage of them. This webinar, Web Development Basics, will help you understand the impact having a website has on your business, learn how to create a successful website, and understand why website design matters for the customer. There will be time for a Q&A at the end of this session, so feel free to drop any questions in the chat box and we will get those answers for you. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Kimberly and Rihanna. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for having us today. And we're super excited to be able to present to you all what we think web development basics means and what it can mean for women-led small-owned businesses. So we're very excited. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share my screen. Do I have hosting capabilities?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Okay, Kimberly, try now.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we'll get into our presentation. Move this over. Oh. And okay. So welcome everyone to our Web Development Basics webinar. My name is Kimberly Harris, and I have my lovely partner, Rihanna Mustak, with us today. And we are, please excuse the date that I have on there because clearly it's not March 18th. But we are from MHP Team SI, and we are a full service data-driven marketing agency led by our president and CEO, Sharon Talek Vogelpohl, with nearly 50 years of experience building brands, increasing public awareness, and engaging audiences for over 800 clients. We are also 140 plus teammates with expertise in digital media, website and app development, inbound marketing, content marketing, search engine optimization, and much, much more. We have offices in Little Rock and in Rogers, Arkansas, so in Northwest Arkansas, and then in Little Rock, we're in the Repsamen Cantrell Park area, Cantrell area, if you're familiar with the area. And we've had a relationship with WFA for nearly 10 years. So our WFA partnership, which we're really excited about, helps us to provide pro bono marketing services to grant recipients. So if you're one of those grant recipients, congratulations. And what this provides is marketing support, which was listed by the grant recipients as one of the greatest needs of what they needed and what they felt like their small businesses could use the most help in. MHP Team SI started a partnership with WFA to offer pro bono personalized training and counsel from the agency's female leaders. So you have myself and you have Rihanna on the webinar today. The partnership includes webinars such as today on maximizing digital media dollars, basic web development, today's topic, and organic social media best practices. With the grant recipients, they'll receive office hours with the agency's female marketing leaders and web, social media, and digital media. And I'm not sure if over the years that the WFA partnership has not included office hours for non-grant recipients, but we're excited to have you all be a part of Team SI to help you all further your businesses. So again, my name is Kimberly Harris, and I am the QA web analyst for MHP Team SI. I work with our Element team, a lot with our John Deere team. And I have 20 plus years of professional experience in various capacities at other organizations, including Team SI or MHP. 4+ years in web development. I'm a self-taught web developer. I've owned my own web design freelance small business where I built websites and consulted on design work for small business and startups. And I am very passionate about front-end development and UX design. And I'll let my lovely partner tell you a little bit about herself, Rihanna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rihanna Mushtaq, developer at MHP Team SI. I have over 20 years of IT experience with over 15 years of web development experience, including front-end and back-end development involving the latest technologies and also the cloud-based app development. For past 4 years, I've been working with Team SI building Sitefinity-based mobile-first custom websites.
Okay. Thank you, Rihanna. And so we'll start with what is web development. And I wanted there to be a few key takeaways, like what's in it for me. I wanted you to figure out like what's in it for me. So I wanted you to be able to understand the web differences. So what we wanted you to be able to do is understand website differences, because there are differences in the way different websites are put together. We wanted you to be able to understand the impact of having a website on your business. It is very important for you to still maintain a web presence in the form of a website, even in our big social media world. And we wanted you to be able to understand that design matters as you are putting together your website or having someone to put together your website. How it looks and how you present to your customers or potential customers really does make a difference in you getting that next customer. So what is web development? Web development is the building and maintenance of websites. It's the work that happens behind the scenes to make the website look great, work fast, and perform well with a seamless user experience. And what that means is that once you get the website built or someone codes out a website, or it's a drag and drop site, which we'll talk about later, it's not just important to build a website, but it's equally important to make sure that your website is maintained. Just like having a home, make sure your home is maintained, or anything that's built to make sure that it's working properly or functioning in the way that you'd like for it to function. It's that thing that happens to make you as a company stand out, and for you to be able to put your best foot forward for those who would like to know a little bit more about you. With your users' experience and how they would experience your organization in mind. So what are web developers? Well, web developers are the persons who develop the website. So web developers or devs or there are other names that they go by, software engineers and such. They do this by using a variety of coding languages. The languages they use depend on the types of tasks they are performing and the platforms on which they're working. So I'm not sure if you all have heard about a coding language, or it's a set of text or characters that is told to the computer or typed out to the computer, and it basically tells the computer what to do, right? Or how things should appear on your website. And I'll give you a very basic or high level example of how this works. So in my role, I am a human and I am speaking English. Hopefully I'm speaking English. And the phrase that I'm going to say, I'm going to give a command. I'm going to say, open the door. And hopefully you as the listener will open the door. So that's the output. So there's a role, there's a language that's given or that's spoken. There's a phrase that or a command or something that you'd like to happen, and then the output, what we get from that. So this is the same way that web development works. As in a role as a front end developer, which is where I typically live as a front end developer. So what you typically see when you first get on the website, from the fonts to the colors and the text, those types of things, that's something that the design, you'll see that from a front end developer most often. The language that I'll use to communicate, which will be HTML or hypertext markup language, or to do some styling, change the colors or whatnot, could be I would use a cascading style sheet or a CSS document or file. And I may use some JavaScript if I need some action things, some more actionable items to actually happen. So using the language HTML and CSS as a front end developer, I'm going to say, hey, I want my heading or H1. I want a heading, and I'm going to use the term H1, which stands for my first heading. And I'm going to say I'm going to speak using CSS saying, hey, I want the heading 1 to have the color blue. And so my output is going to be a heading with the color blue as represented right here. If I am in a role as a backend developer, I may use a language such as PHP or Python or Ruby. And there's many other backend languages that are used, but I may use one of these languages to speak to the computer using a code editor and say, hey, using PHP, I'll say, I want you to echo or show this string word count. So this string of letters or this set of letters, but I want you to tell me how many words. I want you to look at this string of letters and I want you to tell me how many words are in this. I want you to count the words. So this tells me that my script should output the number 2 because I have 2 words. Hello world are my 2 words that I have. So once I put that script in, then I'll get the output 2. I hope that makes sense. So I just wanted to show you on a very high level how developers use coding languages to be able to get the outputs or the outcomes that they need for websites. There are many different types of websites out there, but we'll talk about the most common ones and some that are very accessible to you as a person who doesn't know any coding languages. So the first type of website we'll talk about is a hard-coded website. And what this simply means is that this is a website that is built from the ground up. It's written, every line, everything that you see, someone typed it, typed out coding language to be able to develop that website. So it's like writing a book. So that book was written from chapter 1 to chapter 12, all by this one person, right? Or it could be shared between multiple people. But this is something that was built from the ground up, like building a house was built from the ground up. There was no prefabrication of anything. Everything was built from the ground up. This is what we call a hard-coded site. This is the one that is the most time consuming as well. Next, you have drag and drop sites, which are more easily accessible to, they're made for your everyday person who doesn't want to learn any coding language or doesn't have the time to learn a coding language, or would just like have a very cost-effective way to quickly get their site up. Drag and drop sites are very popular. As you can see, if you have an image, you could just drag that image in there. They already provide a text box where you can put the text in, and everything is pretty much laid out for you in a templated manner to where it's very easy for you to create a website literally in an hour or maybe even one day. You also have content management systems, and a lot of people are familiar with blogs. WordPress is one of the most popular content management systems, and they started off in the blog atmosphere or a blog arena. And then quickly people started adapting those blogs into full-fledged websites. And their content management systems are an easy way for you to manage content on your website or for your website. They have databases and other things that are attached to them as well, so you can keep user information as well. And content management systems have widgets as well as drag and drop websites, but plugins and widgets are things that are are the things that content management systems really need to make them your full-fledged working website and have all the bells and whistles that other websites have. So I'll talk a little bit more about hard-coded website. What is it? So again, a hard-coded website is a website built from the ground up. There are no step-by-step wizards, no pre-built templates to choose from. You're strictly just writing from coding language. So I wanted to show you quite simply what this looks like. Give you an example of what that looks like. Somebody coding out a website. So this person, if they're coding out this website, then they may have, they're writing their header. So you'll see her say, my first header, my first website, sorry. So this is that H1, header 1. So she's writing this in a code editor, and you can clearly see that what she's writing, she's able to see. And there is no styling on this page. So once she would add her .css file, then she can add in some different styling to, if she wanted to change the background to blue or change the text to red, then she could do this. But with your HTML document, you're basically just writing as if you were writing out in like a Word document. And I wanted to show you on the left, this is an HTML or someone who was hard coding out a website. You can see they have their CSS file, and they also have the HTML file as well. And everything that you see over here translates to what you see on the left. Drag and drop websites are very popular these days. These are the sites that allow you to literally just build a website in the matter of a day or two or an hour. It's something, if you need a basic website that does, basic functionality, that's like a static website that you don't need to do a lot, you can do it yourself. These are the do-it-yourself websites. So I'm pretty sure you all have probably heard of Wix, Squarespace, and one that's pretty new is called Strikingly. These are very, very easy to use. You can accept payments. I've used Wix for my own professional website for my web design business, where you can accept payments. You can build in contact forms. You can build some really, really nice websites, and they have pre-made templates where all you're doing is altering the template to your custom information, and you can have a website up in a matter of minutes. So I wanted to show you someone building out a website on Wix. Like, what does this look like? So this person has some type of, was a psychologist, and they're building out a website. Most of these drag and drop sites, the good thing about them, they already have preloaded images. You can upload your own images, but they also already have images. So if you don't want to search for an image, at that moment, there are plenty of images to choose from. You can change the font color really easy. You can change the font itself very easily. You can move things around very easily on this site. It's really, really, really intuitive, kind of like building out a PowerPoint maybe, or building out, even creating something in Word or something that, was design friendly, but it's really, really easy to use, and they walk you through publishing your website once you're done and complete. And I really do like them. The customer service is really great. So Wix is one you can use. I've used Squarespace as well. From a design standpoint and in ease, usability standpoint, Wix is really, really intuitive. I do like them. And they're also mobile friendly. You want to make sure that your websites are mobile friendly as well. So these sites typically have, they allow you to be able to see your website, how it's going to be presented on mobile as well, which is super important because most people, they use their phones to look up websites. Okay. And lastly, a content management system. It allows users without any coding knowledge to amend, modify, and edit content websites using a WYSIWYG, which is interface, which is an acronym that stands for what you see is what you get. The data entered into a CMS software is stored in a database, which renders the web page via a template. So those are templated sites as well. You can build something from the ground up using WordPress, but it's easier to use a template. I don't want you to feel like, if you want any customizations, you won't have to use any code. To do some customizations, you will have to have some knowledge of code, or be able to hire somebody who has some knowledge of code to be able to get your website customized in the way that you would like to. But see, a WordPress is most certainly something that people use. Drupal is another one. And HubSpot is a CMS that a lot of businesses who are really interested in how their users are engaging with their website and their conversion rate. It provides a lot of data for them to be able to make changes on the fly, test different types of web pages, test different types of forms, see where their users are going first, find hot spots on the site, dead spots on the site. Provides a lot of information. So HubSpot is another good one as well. And it's really easy to use as well for you to be able to create a website. So why do you need, you may ask yourself, but why do I need a website? I have a social media page. Like I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have Pinterest, I have Facebook, I have Snapchat, I have, all these things. Why do I still need a website? Well, social media is not your website. It is media for your business. It's a way for you to connect with your customers. It is also a way to get customers, but it is not your website. So here's why, some more whys as it relates to why you need a website for your business. 30% of people won't consider a business without a website. When people are searching for products or services, the first thing they do is hit Google, and they're looking for some type of service. And the businesses that have websites, they appear first in the search on your search screen. Very rarely are people going to the fourth and fifth and sixth search screen to see if they can find a business. I usually choose out of that first or second page, usually the first, because the ones that rank higher are the ones that get the most business. So it's very imperative that you have a website so that you can be found, so that your customers can find you. 97% of people go online to find a local business. I know I go online to find whatever business that I feel like I need for the particular thing that I'm looking for. If I can't find you online, I don't search through social media, and that doesn't come up in the Google search engine for me to be able to find a social media, your social media page associated with your business. So as it relates to your revenue, those who have websites, they earn 2 times as much revenue per employee. So you can earn so much more just by being able to be found and being able to have that great websites that have, the right keywords or SEO. And if you attend one of our marketing ones, you'll understand what I'm saying, that search engine optimization, so that people can find you. You experience 4 times revenue growth. You can experience 4 times revenue growth over the previous year. That was nearly 4 times as high. So basically, if you have a website, your revenue can go, can increase by as much as 4 times just by you having a website that's easily found and that looks good. You want to be able to leave an impression, and that's why design matters. Having a website, you don't want to have a website just for the sake of having a website. You want it to truly represent yourself. You want it to be able to represent your employees and represent your brand and what you're trying to communicate to your customers, so that they are drawn in and they choose you as the business that they'd like to share in. So we know that trust is built on first impressions. Now, this is a doctor, has the same knowledge, in picture A as in picture B. But if he came in with his weekend biker, attire on, to your appointment where maybe you were talking about something pretty serious, your first impression would be, I don't know if this is the doctor that I really want to speak to about this important decision, right? Even though he has the same knowledge in picture A is in picture B, you're thinking about the impression that he's giving you when he walks in the room to talk to you about matters. That same impression, impression is made for your customers as well when they visit your website or when they're trying to find your business online or even on social media. So I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. I have two websites. Both of them are spas. Both are spa websites, and I want you to take a look at the design. If you were looking for a spa, just based on picture alone, and you were like, "Ooh, I've had a long week. Business is good. I want to go relax, and I want to just have a nice day at the spa, and I want to feel like I'm just going to be rejuvenated or restored or whatever." I kind of pulled words from that one, but if you were to look at these two websites, which website feels inviting, makes you feel like you're about to go to a getaway, makes you feel like, oh man, they have professional service. The service is really professional. I'm going to get, quality care for my money, or I really feel like I'm going to experience a getaway. The design of your website can be the difference between you getting a customer or a customer passing your business by. I want you to know that when you're building your website, or if you get someone else to build your website, the way your website is designed really matters. And with that, I'm going to pass the presentation along to my wonderful partner, Rihanna, to talk to you more about web development.
So I'm just going to talk some basic steps about creating successful websites. So first, if you have to think about building a website, first we need to determine the purpose of having a website. Why do we actually need a website? And what would be the strategy that we are going to follow in order to build a successful website? So when thinking about building a website, we have to find out what are the latest website designs that are trending. Like as Kimberly had mentioned that the design of a website is key. So that's one of the things that first we have to look for. And also when you see over a period of time, the websites are like modified or updated based on the business requirement and also the target audience. So making them more functional and user-friendly. So that's the main reason we have to look for the latest website designs that would be trending and would be really useful for your business. On the other thing would be like to find out which platform works best for the business. Like Kimberly had mentioned that we have different type of websites like static or drag and drop websites, or that can be done using widgets. Those just involve a little bit of coding or maybe not much of coding if you use a website builder, such as Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, and all those. Or else you can also use a CMS, which is a content management system. That's basically based on templates to design a page. These templates are nothing but they are like basic predefined page patterns that can be reused and customized for different pages on the website. So when choosing a platform, we have to look for different factors like what kind of customization options are provided for us, what would be the budget for the website, what is the customer support that is provided by a website builder. And we have to compare all those things and see which is easy to use, which is most customizable. And all those packages is what we are going to see, even when we are going to build like an e-commerce website or bigger store websites, anything. So basically making it easy to put together in a very relatively short amount of time with less coding skills would be much easier. So you can easily find all these website builders that will actually tailor to your wants and needs with all that they actually offer. So once we have chosen a platform, what we have to do is like we have to choose a branding strategy, including the social media marketing, since marketing is also key, which will actually help you determine the target audience and help you build more business. So after all this is done, we can to think about like what kind of content has to be entered into the website, how are we going to optimize the website, are we going to have any kind of payment options if it is applicable, like if we have an e-commerce store or something like that, then we might think about payment options. And then once everything is set up, we can just go ahead and publish it and let the users use the website. Next. Like as Kimberly had mentioned about static websites, there are also different type of website called dynamic websites or web applications. So what is the basic difference between static and dynamic websites? Static websites are basically just the content on the page that doesn't change much no matter who is viewing it. There's no kind of personalization for the page or anything. It just has some kind of simple information. So basically, when you say a static website, it doesn't have much interaction with the user. Though it is very quick and cheaper to develop, it is very easy to host and would be ideal for like very small businesses where they don't have too much interaction, just kind of you just have to show some kind of information for the user, then it is a very good option. And also it is the disadvantage of having a static website is like it's very costly to update or change any kind of information that's on the web page, because it's basically done with using some HTML code. And every time there is a change to a page, it has to be done manually, and it has to be done as and when needed. So it cannot be dynamic as required by the websites. So as talking about dynamic, on the other hand, dynamic websites are the most commonly used these days. They are very interactive and they look very professional, and it's easily manageable. The main advantage of having a dynamic website is that it can be easily updated. This can be done using a website builder like Wix, Squarespace, or it could also be done if you are using a CMS, the content management system, which actually uses different kind of programming languages like Java or PHP and HTML and .NET and all those things. So these programming languages can also be used in order to have the website more dynamic. Having a dynamic website actually helps us in managing online stores, like if we are going in for a e-commerce store, because this allows the users to create their kind of personalized accounts and help them track their orders or shipments or their personal information on it. And we can also incorporate interactive forms, any third-party integration like chat features or email subscriptions for their regular newsletters or something like that. Next. So as I mentioned earlier, successful websites built for the business are based on strategy. So based on individual programming skills, we can either build a static website with basic HTML coding based on the requirement, or try to use a website builder like Wix or Squarespace, or even hire a website designer with more coding ability to create some user-friendly mobile-first websites. So all these prerequisites for the websites are more based on the budget cost of how much it's going to be for building a website. Basically, the cost for building a website will include the hosting and the CMS, if you are going to use the CMS, or even hiring a web developer if it is needed. Basically, and also any kind of third-party integrations if it requires any, if it requires cost for it. And those are some of the basic things that will be included with the cost for the website development. And what we have to say is like when we actually hear about a business through a friend or any other source, basically before we go and check out the location of a business personally, the first thing that we try to do is check out the business online. Like as Kimberly mentioned, that having a business online is actually the best first impression, since everything these days is online. And more importantly, having a mobile first and responsive website is very key. One of the best things about having a mobile friendly website is that you can reach a wider audience because it's going to be accessible over different devices, like it could be iPad or tablets or phones or whatever you want, like even desktops and laptops. And also having the website responsive is also another key, for website development, because it also helps making your website more easy to be shared across social platforms. Basically, responsive website it is nothing but the website to be more approachable in basis of design, and also developed based on the user's behavior and the environment, like the screen size and the platform and the orientation of the device. Like whichever device you use, your website should look good. It shouldn't be like a part of the text is cut off or something. It doesn't show up good, or some kind of images look really big on the mobile devices, and it looks like the right size on the desktop. So having a responsive and mobile website is very key, and it helps having a very approachable way of having a website. So what makes a good mobile website would be like having a really good homepage for a website with all the calls to action, which should be like front and center, kind of attracting the users, having a good site navigation, and site search would be a key, because when a user comes to a website and he wants to look for a product or anything, having a site search is very key, because he wants to find out what is there, like before he could look through the whole site. And letting the users explore before they could commit to anything. And also having a streamlined information entry, making your website more usable, and having feedback options to improve your website. And also, like why we usually say having a good mobile website is key is because responsiveness and mobile friendly is very important, because as I mentioned that everything is online, including myself. Like whenever I want to buy something, or I want to get some information of anything, the first thing that I do is I take my phone or my laptop or anything, and I just go for a website, try to find the information that is there. So that's the main reason. Like it could I can use a phone, or I can even use my tablet or my laptop. So that's the main reason having a website which is mobile friendly and responsive is very important. And when we're building websites, it's a very good approach if we have it accessible to everyone, including people with disabilities, which is usually not taken into consideration most of the times. So in order to have the websites to be accessible to disabled people, the website should be ADA compliant, which means that they need to follow a set of rules, which will make it easy for everyone to use. Talking about e-commerce or online stores, e-commerce websites are basically the best option if you want to have online stores. What is an e-commerce? Like e-commerce is basically integration of like advertisement, the analytics, the content created, and so on, to provide a best user experience. So essentially, an e-commerce website is one that allows a business to function almost entirely online. The process is fairly automatic, and this can make it stand apart from other websites that still have business development as the main goal. And some examples of successful e-commerce websites are Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and so on. What are the advantages of having an e-commerce website? The advantages would be like the user can have a faster buying process if you go for an e-commerce website. It's easy for store and product listing creation. It's very affordable advertising and marketing. Also for providing flexibility for the customers, and also having a good product and price comparison for them on the website. So all these are like some simple advantages of having e-commerce website. Basically, how does the e-commerce website work is that when a user goes to a website on a browser, it is nothing but it lets a customer, like the user, choose or pick any kind of product that they want to buy, and they can add it to a virtual shopping cart and decide to check out. So it is easier for a customer to complete the checkout process and finalize the transaction. There are different e-commerce website builders that will help manage your online store with all the data that is there on the website. Some examples are the Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, And there are a lot more other options, but these are some of the most widely used. Next. And also to manage data for online stores, we will require a database other than having a front-end part of it. Database is basically used for storing all the information that's on the website, including the content, the user information, and everything that goes on the website and also on the store. So based on the requirement, we can opt for a free open source database like MySQL, or based on the budget, we can opt for a different one. There are a lot of other options, like if you look through this SQL and a lot more, which is based on the requirement and also on the budget that we can opt for any of these. So any website can be actually improved based on the user feedback. So the amount of time the user spends on the website and how often the user visits the website. All these informations can be tracked using Google Analytics, which will actually help improve the website and also help us improve the business by getting the feedback from the user. So it's like when we think an online store, first thing that comes to the mind is that what kind of products are there on the online store. And if I get the product that I'm looking for, the second thing that comes to my mind is like, can I get it shipped? And what is the shipping cost? And well, how long is it going to take for me to get the product delivered and all those things. So when we have an online store or an e-commerce website, it is always the best option to have a shipping option, which could be done for both globally and locally, along with the pricing listed on the website, which will actually help the customer decide like how they can go ahead with the purchase, whether they want to go to the store and purchase it or they want to buy it online and get it delivered to their place. So e-commerce websites must always make shopping safe for the users. So like for this, the site should be PCI compliant. PCI is nothing but payment card industry. These are again another set of rules to ensure that the business process, store, and transmit the credit card information in a very secure environment, because these are actually the bare minimum security standards that are set out to protect the card holders and the payment card industry as a whole. Because whenever we think of shopping, because the main thing that we have is like we give our personal information, including our credit card. So whatever we get from the user should be safe and secure for the user and to be a very good user experience for them. So for that also that our website should be secure. That means it should be SSL encrypted. That is, it should have a digital certificate, which actually enables encrypted connection between data transfer to be more secure so that it doesn't get hacked or any of the personal information doesn't get leaked out or anything like that. Next. Talking about online payments, because if it's an e-commerce website, payment system is very crucial. And the payment systems have nowadays, it has become really increasingly popular because of the widespread use of internet-based shopping and banking. So having an e-commerce site with online payment options is very important. So if it is like an electronic and online payment is actually, say it's a digital transaction between the two parties. So in online payment processing, what happens is like it makes the user interaction much easier. And also it makes the payment process much faster, and automated methods are there, which actually allows the business to choose whichever the option the business requires, and based on their cost and budget, it can be handled. So basically understanding how the online payment works and choosing which method works for your business go hand in hand, because since we do not have to know how the online payment works, but we have to just understand what are the benefits that the online payment can give on the basis of the business revenue. So this actually starts by knowing how your customer prefer to interact, and most importantly, like their payment preferences. It is a bit difficult to find out the payment preferences. It's kind of a guessing game, But basically, if we have a different kind of options listed on the website, it's much it becomes much user friendly. Like if the main customer base is like interacting and shopping on mobile devices, it's critical to have more mobile friendly payment methods and secured ones. So knowing which online payment methods are best for your business and customer comes down to flexibility and usability of the product. Customers should be able to choose from the number of payment methods that are included. It could be either traditional credit card or there are so many latest innovative mobile and digital payment options. So whatever option that suits best for the business is what and making the shopping experience much secure is the one we have to opt for. So there are a lot of like online payment methods. When you check about online payment methods, it also means that we have to ensure that the customer's chosen payment method is fully integrated into the checkout experience so that it helps the user make the checkout experience much easier instead of having them jump between different pages, like couple of pages, and then make them enter different like their user information for each and every page. Instead of that, making it much user friendly should be another key thing that we have to keep in mind. So finding the right online payment method must also help the customer navigation. As I mentioned, like it should be much user friendly. And businesses must also consider the risk associated with online payment methods. Obviously, like accepting any kind of payment method adds a layer of risk. So the key to protecting yourself as a business that processes the online payments is having partnership with payment providers that have the security at the top of their mind. As I had mentioned earlier about the PCI compliance, there is additional end-to-end encryption called E2E tokenization, which are all these core concepts of what will make your ability to process the online payment methods more smoothly and securely. But these kind of compliance and everything is usually it is done by the third-party online payment systems. So we don't have to know in detail about how everything works, but we need to know like what are the things that they provide in order to make our website and our customers secure and make their shopping experience much better. So before knowing like selecting the right payment methods basically comes down to the type of business, the demographics of your core customer, and the technology that best integrates into your business model. There are a number of online payment methods that can be integrated with e-commerce websites, which will provide a secure checkout experience for the user. For example, like PayPal, there is Amazon Pay, Google Pay, there's a Visa checkout, and so on. Basically, to sum up, having a website can help us sell products and services, make a wider audience reach due to the website accessibility being 24/7. And having a website, the online presence is 24/7, as I mentioned, which means the customers can always find you online. So it's not that they have to wait for the store to open or anything. They can just go online, choose whatever they want. They can either check out or the products that they want, get it delivered to their place, or even get information about what they're looking for. And also having website actually helps us with different kind of information exchange, like we can have any kind of job postings, hiring opportunities or anything can be displayed on the website, or also we can have any kind of advertisements like in-store or online sales or offers, and also like having customer insights by tracking the user behavior on a website, and having websites and having integrated newsletters or online subscription is also another main thing, because you will be in touch with the customer and letting them know that what is happening with the store or the online website, and letting them giving them information and keeping in touch with them. These are some of the basic things that will help you have a very good website, and it's also going to help your business overall. I hope this bit of information is helpful for you. Back to you, Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Brianna. And so if you all have any questions, you can contact us. Again, I'm Kimberly Harris, and here's my Team SI email. And the same for Rihanna. If you all have any questions about anything that we discussed, we'd be happy to answer your questions in any way. Thank you for your time. Stop my share.
Thank you everyone for attending. So we will be sending out these slides and they do contain Kimberly and Rihanna's email if you guys ever need to get into contact with them. But thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.